my good buddy, Mike, Mr. Wetz, aka.
I have no clue.
Just give me a definition of what you think it might be.
It might say like Ichiraku ramen. I'm a good cook. I don't know, man. It was a cool band. It was a cool bandana. I saw it at the Japanese store. I was like, nah, I'm getting that.
It's lit. It's lit. It might be something they did quick for Curry, because that's the next topic right now. 3-point. He broke the record. When was that game? Against the Knicks.
What was it? Was it this week? Was it this past week that it happened?
It might be.
Was it Tuesday?
I feel like it's been forever. It's been forever. But it was. I think. It was December 14. December 14.
Okay, that was a few. Yeah, that was a few days ago.
Curry did break the record. Ray Allen's record now. He's at. I'm not sure if he's still at 29.74, but that was the record he broke. He's now the best 3-point player in history. Even if he did not break it, we all knew that. But the question I have for you, Mike, if you do remember Kobe Bryant, 61 points at the Madison Square Garden. Between Curry's breaking the record and stopping the game, having cake, champagne, saluting his mom, dad, everyone. They gave him an extra ring or something. Like, they gave him so much. Like, we had cold feet. We were like in the bench, like, yo, let's get it started, man. Like, we gotta get going. Yeah. And Kobe Bryant, 61 point. And that 61 point was just not any regular 61 point game. He was giving every defender that guarded him the business. Had a pass from the backboard and he took it back. He did so many weird stuff. And I was looking at I'm like, bro, don't do us like that, man. But between those two, which one was the better night?
I have to go for the obvious one. It is Kobe Bryant. You know what's sad though? What's sad is that most players in history decide to, have their historic nights at the Garden.
It's the most famous arena.
Cool. Like, it's the most famous arena, but as a franchise and as a team, you have to be like, God damn, man, like, everybody comes and sets records against us. Like, this is embarrassing at this point, man. Like, why couldn't Curry be that close, like,
to do it
one night later,
the previous game,
maybe
I know, right?
Or the previous game, or just one night later. He just had to get to the night where he had to play at the Garden, didn't he? And it just had to happen at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world, where every tourist actually comes to play basketball. I mean, you and I, Richie, we went to MSG, man, on a random night. It's like 60% of the people in the arena were just tourists, man. It's like it wasn't even like real genuine fans. Yeah. Like, it was like a whole bunch of tourists, man. So all these famous people come into the arena, and just to see that happen, it's just crazy. He got stuff from Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, he got the GOAT treatment basically for breaking that record.
Yeah.
But I think the better night for me was Kobe Bryant, even though originally I thought that your question was based on Curry breaking the 3-point record or Kobe's final night of his career when he scored 60 points. That's what I originally thought it was. Yeah. That's what I originally thought it was.
Kobe, right?
Yeah. Nah, 100%. 100%. What, to retire that way on a W as well?
And he told Shaq also.
I think he took 45 shots that day as well. Like, it was just insane. And it was a comeback. Yeah, and it was a comeback win as well for a team. If I remember correctly, went into the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken. No, Utah.
No, I don't think they made the playoffs. They were supposed to make the playoffs. I could be wrong. I'm gonna fact check that, but I don't think they made it. Yeah,
because Gordon Hayward was there. Damn, yeah, I remember. But no, for sure, I think I gotta go Kobe, man. Like, because Kobe loved playing at MSG as well. like a lot of superstar NBA players do. And just like you said, man, giving everybody the business at MSG, throwing it off the backboard, like you said, like,
Just having fun. And like, it's like every time people come in here, they're like, okay, it's goal time.
All respect to the GOAT Curry. For me personally, I've said this before. I think he's a top 10 player of all time. I really don't care what anybody else says. That's your opinion. You keep that to yourself. For me, Stephen Wardell Curry is a top 10 player of all time. Like revolutionized the game of basketball. Yeah, revolutionized the game of basketball.
So you've been watching the NBA lately, Mike, and you've been watching everyone balling, like all the good players balling. Mm-hmm. Who, if something happened and they had to shut down the NBA, who would be your MVP?
It's a pretty easy choice for me. Again, like staying on topic. I think it has to be given to Stephen Curry because of, not only the narrative around not only himself, but the entire team, looking at how Draymond Green is rejuvenated playing basketball as well. And with the squad that they have, Klay Thompson isn't playing. Their sophomore center isn't available. They have a whole bunch of players coming through. Kudos to Steve Kerr and what his coaching staff is doing. But I think a lot of it is like, some of these players growing around Stephen Curry now and like, getting that experience from coming from last year into this year as well. Jordan Poole is a stud. Like, this kid can play ball.
He can.
They have great defensive wings. Andrew Wiggins, he could deny it all he wants. Since he got vaccinated, that man been playing out of his mind. That man been playing out of his mind. To the point that he's being considered as an all-star. And he has to because, they're the best team in the Western Conference. So, I mean, record-wise now, the Suns just passed over them because they rested like 4 players last night. But they still would have been tied on record. And I think the Warriors would have been – I think the record is 1-1 right now. So the Warriors would have still been ahead in the standings. But the best player on the best team, like I think it would have to be him. It's between him and Kevin Durant. That's about it. I don't see any
what
close
separates
third.
him between him and Kevin Durant. And I know you were mentioning this the ranking. Phoenix Suns is 23 wins and 5 losses, and Golden State's 24 and 6 losses.
Yeah.
The separation between him and KD. Kevin Durant.
I think it's narrative. I think there's an expectation for the Brooklyn Nets to be good, regardless if Kyrie Irving is here or not. You still have James Harden. You added Patty Mills. You still have Blake Griffin on the roster, even though they relegated him to bit part role. You still have LaMarcus Aldridge. You drafted a good rookie. You have Bruce Brown. Yeah. I mentioned them. They added Patty Mills. Bembry. You have you have a good rotation center as well. So it's like it was expected for them to be the best team in the Eastern Conference, like even without Kyrie Irving. Like if Kyrie Irving is added, like that's why like them being number 1 and playing the way they're playing, they're still receiving criticism. Yes, COVID has hit them. They're rotating players in and out and stuff like that. People got to go in quarantine and safety protocols and all that stuff. But we expect the Brooklyn Nets to be where they are. The Golden State Warriors,
no expectation was.
We did not expect them to be that good. I think when we did our predictions, I had them in the playoffs somewhere.
I'm gonna check right now for you because I was actually gonna mention that. Let me see. Let me check to see.
I think somewhere between between 7 and 10.
You had him like 5th.
I have
5th. You had him 5th, and Sebastian had them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th as well. So
5th. So I knew they were gonna be coming back, but I didn't expect them to be that good because like Curry really it's not like he struggled last year, but it's just tough for him to maintain, that burden, that scoring load throughout the year, at his age and at his size. But, the fact that, again, Andrew Wiggins vaxxed up, balling out of his mind, Draymond Green rejuvenated, Jordan Poole playing very well, and the bench being, retooled, Andre Iguodala giving sparring minutes here and there, coming back into the team. Like, the narrative around Stephen Curry is really good right now, and they're the best team in the NBA. So I think if the NBA would end today, he would be the MVP, especially coming off the, breaking the 3-point record.
And also they came from not making the playoffs with a disappointing loss versus the Memphis. And we were talking about Curry being MVP, but they snatched that away because he didn't make the playoffs. So I feel like he had something to prove. And only good players, only best players, only great players can do what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
So
and he's top three scorers in the league right now. The only person ahead of him is
KD probably.
KD and Trae Young. That's it.
I'm gonna check that right now for you.
It's only KD and Trae Young that are ahead of him currently. So, shout outs to the boy.
To who?
Curry.
Oh, Curry. Yeah. Points per game. Yeah, you're right. 29.7 for Kevin Durant, 27.3 for Trae Young. Second, Giannis is actually third with 27. I mean, they're tied. Him and Giannis are tied with the same amount of points. So, not bad. And the opposite, Mike. Who would be the most disappointed player that you had expectation and is just not? I feel like I have an idea who you're gonna pick, but I'm gonna let you.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I have two.
Okay, that's fine.
I have two. One of them is very clear to me, like very clear. And
give me a hint.
Huh?
Give me a hint.
He's extremely tall and he's very soft.
Okay.
It's not the guy who that's probably my second guy, the guy that you're thinking of. But I mean, it has to be Anthony Davis, man. Anthony Davis is like, look, don't be fooled by his stats. Like, I know a lot of people would bring up his stats. He would probably bring up his stats as a way to defend himself as well. Like, he's like,
because he's the best player in the paint right now. Best, the most points in the paint, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's not. I think that's still John Morant, if I'm not mistaken.
In the paint?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it still might be John Morant, unless something changed recently. But it'd still probably be like, I'm giving you 24 and 10 and 2 blocks. Mm-hmm. But performance wise, it just doesn't show. Like, he's super inconsistent. He plays soft. He plays away from the basket a lot of times. I blame a lot of the Lakers' struggle on him, even though, like, obviously it's not only him, but a lot of it is on him. Like, but he's just been so disappointing and subpar this year. He's not playing at an all-star level, not even close. And, like, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, but yeah, he's my number one most obvious. And if I were to choose, if you had to put a gun to my head and say, like, yo, who's the most disappointing player this year? I'm going to say Anthony Davis, because they're sitting at 10th right now. They're not even in the playoff. I think they're right on the cusp of the play-in spot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, I'm gonna check that right now for you.
You're not supposed to be there. Like, at worst, you're supposed to be a 5th seed.
They're 6th right now.
They're 6th? Okay.
Yeah.
At worst, you're supposed to be a 5th seed. The season is long, so things will probably improve for them, and they'll probably go on a run. But as of right now, he's by far the most disappointing superstar in the league right now, by far. The second one for me, and there's some excuses for him as well, is Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, who did you think I was going to say, by the way? Let me see.
I know you were going to say Anthony Davis. When you said he's tall and soft, I had Anthony Davis in my head. The second, I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Damian Lillard has to be the second guy for me, man. Like, he's looked very mortal. His shooting percentage are like at career lows. They've been saying that he's been dealing with a hip injury supposedly since 2018 or 2019 or something like that, and he's just gotten some rest for it, basically. over the last, month or so when he missed a few games. But the team is, surrounded in controversy, like since Billups hiring. Now the general manager, so like there's allegations about him as well. So he had to leave. The roster sucks. Like the roster is complete garbage. It's just complete trash. But yet he insists to stay there. I don't know why. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing there? So
probably wants to still prove that he can do it with Portland. He wanna do it with the team that he started with, and he doesn't want to do it the same way every other player has done it. Like not every other player, but players that join forces. But one thing is that I was talking to my friend and said, okay, they're gonna criticize you for 1 year, then after this done, nobody's gonna remember that you went to, and then you want to play with when you have talent. I don't know what's the idea of like when you have talent, you have to always struggle and like like bring your team to a championship. But when you have talent, you have to be surrounded with talent. It makes your game easier. It makes the
100%.
game more beautiful. Like why would you want to? I don't know.
And I think that brings a different challenge as well in and of itself, because what we could see, like, it's proven now that even if you put talent, the best superstar athletes on team, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. We see it with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. Kyrie and KD together, that's a good tandem. When they added James Harden to the mix, they're like, yo, dude, like y'all just put in like 16 barrels of hot sauce in this beautiful curry that was already good, man. Like y'all messing up the gumbo right now.
Yeah.
This is terrible. Like, why would you do that? Y'all had a very balanced squad, and now y'all just want to throw in like the most ball hog dominant 3-point shooter of all time on the team, even though like he was a point guard before. But we could see like it took so long for them to figure out a way to play basketball together.
This slump around in terms of the economic or players. How do you move smoothly so it doesn't get worse, or how can you get better?
I think for the time being, Xavi is doing the right thing to start off with, which is going to the youth academy or to the B team and start like promoting some talent again. Like, because what's been proven over the last 3 years is that who's the president right now? Was he the same president that did all the okay, so who was Bartomeu? Was
he's the one who did the
damages? Okay, so under Bartomeu, they were just throwing out cash at whoever, like whoever's a big name, like, yo, just come to Barcelona. Like a whole bunch of transfers that just didn't make sense. How you're gonna swap your young asset like Arthur or Arthur, like if you want, for Pjanic, who's an aging star, like who plays the exact same position, probably the same, like maybe like a bit of the same style, and you pay on top of that when he's younger. Like how, like who does that? Like I don't like what school of economics did you go to do something like that? Like it didn't make sense to me. And then you pay overprice, maybe not overpriced at the time, but for Griezmann, we've hashed this conversation already. Like
I think maybe the price tag is okay, but it's just not trying to figure it out if it was gonna work.
Yeah. So for Xavi himself, I think he's doing the right thing in trying to find some younger players. Like, let's try to develop them. Like Garvey, right now,
Nico Gonzalez, Gavi.
Let's try to develop them in the style that I want to play. And so that we can offload some of these other players so that we could start balancing out the books, maybe. And then while we're doing that, let's try to develop a better brand and better style of football. That's the way that they have to go about it. Because if economically they're cash strapped, I don't really see what they could do. Even though we're hearing rumors about them wanting to buy, X, Y, and Z in January for the time being. There's rumors that they're bringing Alexis Sanchez back, even though it makes sense. He's an older, aging striker, just like Aguero was, who unfortunately had to retire. That makes a little bit of sense, but Xavi is doing the right thing. But one thing I've got to say is that if you keep, switching your formations around, there's not that consistency for the team. And I know that the modern, football style, that's what it is. Like, you have to adapt tactically to every team, to every opponent that you're playing. But I think there's still that thing of, like, you need to provide your players with a certain type of consistency so that they understand their role and their positioning in the team and how you want them to approach, the game every single time you have them on the field, basically. But I think he's on the right track. But certain things that he does, he needs time. But certain things that he's done where I've seen Coman do it, like, he doesn't receive criticism for doing it, but Coman was they just cursed him out, and they said, like, he sucked as a football coach because I'm like, yo, dude, y'all have no assets. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, he has to play Dest as a right winger. Like, he has nothing. Like, he has no players. What are you talking about? So, but yeah, I think he needs a lot of time.
Most of the sorry to cut you off. Most of the thing people had issue with Coleman is the substitution in the second half, where people did not understand certain players coming in or out. It did not balance the team. So a lot of criticism was towards that part, but
now he deserves it for real. Yeah. Like,
Xavi needs time,
especially the Dutch, like him bringing in Luke De Jong. Like, why would that guy ever be in a Barcelona shirt? Ever, like, ever? Come on. Like, so yeah, Xavi, and he needs to figure out what he has to do with some of his aging players as well, because I mean, Sergi Busquets, he got to go, man. Like, dude, you could be.
I'll be honest, probably is they're still the best midfield at the moment with the most experience. Most experience, yeah.
But come coach on the bench with me, bro. You don't have to play.
Come next to me, man. But they're doing, like you said, they're doing the right thing. Putting Garvey and Nico. I think they're gonna by the end of the season they're gonna reach another experience level. Then you still got Ansu Fati coming back from injury. Then you're gonna figure out how you're gonna play in the front with Ansu, Dembele, and Depay. So there's so many things they have not been able to try yet because Barcelona has not having a healthy season.
Yep.
So that doesn't give you any consistency. And also you have not been able to put your best lineup as well. And you have not even able to use it to see what changes you're going to be. So Barcelona has so many things to figure it out in terms of economics, who's they're going to bring. If they bring Allen, is that going to hurt their books? There's so many things to figure out. But in terms of coaching, Xavi needs so much time. But one thing also they have to know is that this team is not defensively good. Back then, Barcelona was not defensively good also. But they always had a great offense, which always keeps the ball, which diminish anything that could happen in the back.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to score one goal, but they're going to score 4.
Yep.
But now they can't score. So you see their issues defensively. So that's one thing I think Xavi has to focus. You got a good Araujo is good. What's his first name? Rahul? Rahul is good. Miguesa.
Nah.
There's so many. Des is a good little guy, but I don't know if he's gonna become great. I feel like what's the guy that went to Tottenham?
Emerson.
I feel like Emerson would have been defensively better for them.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to figure out some defensive things.
Not by much though. Defensively better, not by much. Like, he's not that great defensively either.
Not that much, but he would. There's certain things he would have done that Des is not gonna do, like dirty tackles. You need that sometimes. You need to stop some plays.
He's physically bigger. I think he's stronger than Dest as well. So I agree on that.
Des is probably technically better than him, but But there's so many things they got to figure out. But Xavi needs time. But they're gonna start criticizing him at some point.
What do you think about the rumor of Christian Pulisic going to Barca?
They don't need him. They don't need him. I was thinking deep, but I just like, they don't need him. That's not the position they need. They need to go to. They need to fix that defense.
Oh yeah, unless Ansu Fati is like done for the season again, I don't really see like, or unless you're really gonna do away with Dembele right now. If y'all doing a swap, then okay, I understand.
Xavi came out in the press conference. That's the second time he's that he wants Dembele with his season going. Hopefully, all the injured player gets back and then get a momentum and then regroup for next season. All right, Champions League, Mike. Most likely to win. Most likely to win. I know you were excited for Manchester United and PSG, but that's not gonna happen anymore. But I'm just gonna give you all the list of the games, and you're gonna just tell me who's most likely to win those Champions League matchups. You ready?
Go ahead.
First one, PSG, Real Madrid. Who's most likely to win that?
This is
don't be biased.
It's a very, very tough matchup. It's probably the best one for me. I'm still gonna give the edge to Real Madrid, man. I mean, it might sound like I'm being biased. I don't know. Carlo Ancelotti just seems like he's cracked it. Like you said earlier, in pre-production, he's not really rotating his squad.
Nah, he's not.
Because
it's giving him results, so he's sticking to that.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to rest these guys, bro.
Modric at 36 just seems like as good as he's ever. He just seems that he's as good as he's ever been. Aging like fine wine. That's Modric right now, man. And you have Vinny, who's just playing out of his mind right now. Benzema, who's on fire as well. So I'm giving the edge to that front three currently over whatever defense that PSG will actually try to line up.
It might change because Ramos might be healthy. It depends. Kipembe's back, but I'm anticipating that they're gonna play a 3 defense with Marquinhos, Kipembe, and this is what I'm anticipating. At the Bernabeu, they're gonna play a 3. They're gonna try to start Ramos. They want Ramos in there because they know it's a game that is gonna be emotional for him. They want him in there. But maybe at PSG they could play flat 4-4-2. Four at the back with Ramos not playing. But you can go.
But for that one, I'm giving the edge to Madrid over 2 legs. But if Mbappe eliminates his new club, that's gonna be more. That's gonna be more incentive for him to come to Madrid. It's like, don't worry, I'm gonna come.
Gotta get that business done.
I'll be there soon.
Sporting versus Manchester City.
City, come on, let's
that's not even. I should have just skipped that. Bayern
even
versus
though, sorry to cut you off. Even though Portuguese teams are very, very scrappy, no disrespect to them, but City is just playing, top tier football now. So they're very. I don't know if after the heavy schedule of December and January and in the Premier League. I mean, we kind of see it's already getting messy with COVID right now. So a lot of games are being postponed. So we don't know when they're going to be pushed back to. So condensed schedule, I don't know what's going to happen. But for right now, the way they're playing, it's definitely City.
Bayern, Salzburg.
Red Bull's a very interesting team. They have very, very good talent. But it has to be Bayern, man.
It's Bayern.
It has to be Bayern. I think they'll probably win this 2-leg tie, a combined 7 goals to nothing, probably 7 or 8 goals to nothing. Yeah.
Inter versus Liverpool.
Another very, very good, interesting last of 16 matchup. You know what, Richie? I'm gonna go for the upset, man.
Oh, you're going for Inter Milan?
I'm gonna go for the upset, man.
I'm gonna make sure that one. I'm gonna put that one out. So all the
I'm gonna go
Liverpool
for the upset.
Come after you.
I really, really like Inter's squad, man. And it's not like Liverpool figured out their defensive issues, but obviously Mohamed Salah and Diego Jota are playing out of their mind. Trent Alexander-Arnold. So they could score with the best of them, but I kind of believe in Inter Milan's defense, especially with their scrappy midfield. So if there's no injury over a 2-leg tie, I'm gonna go for the upset on that one. I want to bet on the upset on that one.
Got you. I'm gonna make sure that's out. Chelsea versus Lille.
It's going to be Chelsea. It's going to be a very difficult tie for them. French teams are very, very difficult to get by in those stages in the Champions League. And we already kind of see Tuchel really struggling with this squad right now, being injured and COVID and all that stuff. But it's going to be Chelsea, but I think it's going to be more tight than we expected. Yeah. Than a team like Chelsea versus a team like Lille would be. It should be a breeze in the park, but I think it's going to be a little bit tight for them.
Juventus, Villareal.
If it was last year, I would have said Villareal. But for some reason or the other, like a lot of these Spanish teams are just struggling so much this year, man. So much. Juventus is not good either. This is a very difficult tie to call. I'm going to give the edge to Juventus because they have the better talent. I don't think they have the better coach. No disrespect to Allegri. But the Spanish teams are just struggling so badly at the moment, man. So it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult time to call right now, but I'm gonna give the edge to Juve.
Okay. no bias there, Mike. Atletico Madrid, Manchester United.
You ain't got no bias for me. Atletico Madrid, man. Even though they suck this year, man. Look, Manchester United, get them out of here, man. Like I'm done with this team. Like I'm done.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I don't see how they win.
I'm gonna pick Manchester United because I feel like they're gonna go through for some reason. I don't know. I feel
if it was the old squad, I would have given them the edge. If it was Ole or even, as crazy as it sounds, if it was Ole or Michael Carrick, in their 4-4-3-1 or like which kind of transitions to a 4-3-3 style sometimes, I would have given them the edge because they could play very fast on the counterattack. And we can see like Atletico Madrid really has a problem with their defense this year when they're supposed to be a very good defensive team. But Ralph Rangnick's style, like as I could see so far, where he plays a 4-2-2-2, where Bruno Fernandes is kind of more stuck on the left or right side of the field. He's not really playing in the middle of the park that much. I don't know how it's going to really help so far. They have to really work on it a little bit more. I have to see a bigger sample size from the team. But as of right now, from the games that he's played with this team and the formation and the tactics that he's employed against some very bad teams, that defense, it was a very open game. It was open season on Manchester United's defense far too often, and it was extremely difficult for them to crack the opposition in the way that they played. So as of right now, I think Atletico Madrid, especially because they're struggling so bad right now, I think they're gonna try to redeem themselves in the Champions League. So I'm gonna pick Atletico.
Benfica, Ajax. Amsterdam.
Ajax. Hottest coach in the game.
Ali got like a triple to give.
Yeah. Hottest striker in the Champions League.
Champions League right now.
Yeah. So they play very attractive football. Benfica is a very, very, very good Portuguese. Yeah, very good Portuguese side. But it seems like a lot of teams in the Champions League actually wanted to face Benfica. I don't know why, because they seemed upset. So we're gonna see, man. I think I'm gonna give the edge to Ajax.
Champions League February. Let's get it. We still got a month to go. All right, that was all for all the topics for today for episode 22. We're gonna move to our segment, which is called "What's Up with That." So I'm gonna give Mike a couple questions, and then he's gonna tell me what like what's going on with that. You know, whenever you're ready, Mike, for the new segment, "What's Up with That," I can start with you.
Let's go.
Lakers inconsistency. What's up with that?
Well, so it starts with AD. That's one. Two is COVID. Three is Russell Westbrook. So, it's a little bit all over the place for them right now. So it's just a lot of players coming in and out of the lineup. There's not continuity right now. So that's what I'm mostly going to blame it on. But Anthony Davis not being dominant is the number one issue of why they're so inconsistent. Number one for me. Anthony Davis.
I feel like a lot of people would agree with you.
Step it up.
Mason Greenwood riding the bench. What's up with that? What up?
I think it's just the fact that he's young. They kind of use the I don't want to say slump, but it's very clear to me that him and Cristiano Ronaldo, they can't operate together. So they're kind of using that as an excuse to just put him on the bench and play the man that they paid £100 million for, which is Jadon Sancho. No. He's definitely playing better. Mm-hmm. But as far as if we're talking about pure goal scoring threat, it's 100%, every day and twice on Sundays, Mason Greenwood, man. He's the best. Cristiano Ronaldo is the GOAT to me. The guy could score from anywhere. But in that Manchester United team, the best finisher in the squad is Mason Greenwood. There's no doubts about it. On pure instinct, left, right foot, he just has a knack for, he has a very good shot, and he has a knack for goals at a very young age. Cristiano Ronaldo is still the GOAT. Don't get me wrong. But I think they're just using it because it didn't really make sense for me that Anthony Martial was getting more minutes than him at some point, which is probably going to change because I'm expecting him to be leaving in January. So we're going to see what happens, but it could also be some disciplinary things as well, because that's one of the reasons why he was probably kicked. Well, it's not probably. He was kicked out of the England squad because of, disciplinary issues.
I mean, Foden is back. They both got kicked out for the same thing.
I mean, Foden is Foden, though. You get what I mean? Foden is,
But Foden hasn't been Foden this year.
He hasn't been playing Foden, but...
he hasn't been Foden. Even when he starts, he hasn't been Foden. He scores, but it's not Foden from the way he ended the season.
I know, I get what you're saying, but I think his versatility, because I see just the same way that sometimes Pep Guardiola plays him a little bit deeper, they've played him as an 8 in England as well. So I think that's another reason why he could get the nod over Mason Greenwood. And there's a lot of players in that area of the field for England right now, even though a lot of them are struggling. Harry Kane. But I mean, yeah. Yeah, but I think, I think that's what it is. I think they just really want to play Sancho a little bit more. Cristiano Ronaldo obviously is playing every game and every minute. So that's why he's struggling for minutes at the moment.
Harry Kane, lack of goals. What's up with that?
I don't understand it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Son Heung-min is playing the same way still. Lucas Moura is still performing the same way.
He's dropping a little bit deeper.
Yeah, but there's one opportunity that he had in a game. I don't remember if it was versus the Manchester United team or it's a game that I watched after Antonio Conte came on. So I don't remember what game that was, but he had a clear goal scoring opportunity and he took his foot off the gas. He slowed down and tried to give a pass to Heung-min Son. and he completely botched the pass. So what that indicated to me, and to a lot of the pundits, is just like, it's a player that's just playing without confidence right now. Even if he's scoring in the smaller competitions, like whatever
Conference leagues.
the conference league and stuff like that, where they expect him to perform is the Premier League, and he's not performing, he's not scoring, and I can't really explain why. I don't know if it's because he expected to be in City. I don't know if it's because he feels some type of way for not performing and getting Nuno fired so early in his tenure. So I'm not sure, man. But it's not something I have an answer for, because Harry Kane should be scoring goals, and he's at what, one goal right now?
I think either one or two.
Terrible.
He scored today.
Oh, he did. Oh, great.
Yeah, he scored today. Future says that in the street he's bigger than Jigga. What's up with that? What's up with that tweet?
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I don't know what he's referring to, but what's up with that, man?
I mean, he might be out here, man. Like, Future got mad baby mamas. He got mad baby mamas. He probably be in the clubs all the time. Like, listen, man, Jay 50, 51, 52 years old. Like, he's married to Beyonce. Like, come on, man.
In the streets,
yeah.
I'm in the streets now. I make music for what toxic.
Yeah.
Last one, Take Care versus Graduation. What's up with that, Mike? What's going on with that one?
This is the most research I've ever done for a segment. I went back to actually listen to both albums. For me, when you sent that question through, I already had my mind made up. And it's tough comparing those things, because, like, how do you go? Do you go hit for hit? Or like, do you go by feel? It's very tough. But I was looking at the track list, and so I was trying to like compare like the track list, so song for song. That's what I was trying to do, like going across song for song. But the Take Care album is longer than the Graduation album, so that doesn't seem fair, even though Take Care has some interludes. So we could probably cut the interludes out and stuff like that. But for me personally, I think it's Graduation. Graduation, I think, is a classic. With all due respect to GOAT Drake, Take Care was a great sophomore album, but I don't think it's a classic. I don't even think it's his best body of work. Graduation is up there for being some of Kanye's best work, and Kanye was spitting on there. And
what's the best song for you at that album?
Let me look at the track list again. I mean, the standout obviously is Stronger, because that was the biggest hit I think that came out of that. Out of that album.
Either that one or Good Life.
Yeah. But yeah, man, when I was looking at it, like, Good Morning versus Over My Dead Body, I'm picking Good Morning. Champion over Shot for me, I'm taking Champion. Stronger over Headlights,
taking Stronger.
Wonder over Crew Love. Crew Love is a good song, but
you got one Wonder.
Yeah, man, it's just Good Life over Take Care. Now track 4 versus track 4 of each album. Good Life, Take Care with Rihanna is great. Good Life is fantastic as well, man. It's just so tough. And then Can't Tell Me Nothing is probably my favorite album. My favorite song of the album.
Yeah. We can't
so you look, Can't Tell Me Nothing versus Marvin's Room. Marvin's Room is probably one of the most popular songs off that album. Can't Tell Me Nothing, I'm taking that. Barry Bonds versus Buried Alive, I'm picking Buried Alive. Drunken Hot Girls, one of the slower songs on Graduation, versus Underground Kings. I'm picking Underground Kings there. Flashing Lights, that's a classic, all-time classic song for me. In 2007, you're talking about 16, 17-year-old Mike. Like
we lit.
High school Mike. Come on, man. This is like versus We'll Be Fine. We'll Be Fine is a very up-tempo song.
Yeah.
But I'm still taking Flashing Lights, man. I don't know. Like Graduation is such a classic to me.
It's a classic.
It's such a classic to me, man. I'll probably get a lot of people that are gonna disagree because the other interesting thing about it is that again, Graduation came out in 2007. Take Care came out in 2011. And I think YouTube started becoming a little bit bigger at that point. So Drake started to get a little bit more into the culture more. Because in the deluxe album, I don't know if you remember the motto.
Yep.
That's the motto, nigga. Every day. Fuck what everybody say. Yeah, so that was a bop in the street.
Lil Wayne wasn't that
was
also, right?
Yeah, Lil Wayne.
That was like, yo.
Everybody was dancing to it. Everybody was making dances to it, man. So, that was a culture hit.
That was when the term YOLO came out, or he used YOLO on.
It was around that time. I don't know if it started originating around that time.
But sorry for cutting you off. You can finish your thoughts.
Yeah, so I think Drake really benefited from the YouTube era being, started blowing up because YouTube was still fairly new, like at that time, like when Kanye was, dropping. It wasn't as, YouTube is the biggest platform right now. Like I spend all my day on YouTube now. Like, but yeah, man, I gotta go with Graduation, man. I miss old Kanye, even though he dropped a banger album this year.
Nah, but yo, I know some people are gonna disagree, but we're gonna see. Like they just gotta argue with you, man. Like, yeah, let's argue.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice. You know what? Next segment, I'm gonna pick two new albums. Doesn't have to be Drake or Kanye, and I like that. I like the way you went track from track.
That's the only way I could do it because I don't know if I could do that hit for hit.
No, because there's like you said, it's two different albums, two different things. Like it's kind of hard. But I'm gonna try to help you out with the next one selection, so it could have like the same kind of waves, same kind of. How would I say? Not the category. Like
okay.
Yeah, if it's soft together. If it's hardcore, like
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. That was dope though. It was great to revisit those albums.
Oh yeah, it was great. When I went back to listen to Graduation, when I did that, and I remember when I used to go to take to the barbershop, like right next to the crib on Hempstead and the corner of Doherty, was like a yellow barbershop. It was like right across your street. And they used to play You Can't Tell Me Nothing every time. So when I didn't know it like that, but they made me love it. And then it just got an energy into it. Like, yo, you like
even though
I'm Mr. Wetz, you can't tell me nothing. Like something like that.
Even though, because I'm such a Drake fan, and I remember pretty much every word from all the songs from Take Care. I was listening to it like 4 hours ago, and I was just lyric for lyric, bar for bar of like most of the songs. I couldn't really do that for Graduation, but I really remembered how that album made me feel in 2007, and Kanye was just spitting. He was just on a different level. Yeah, he was on a different level back then. That's a fact.
All right, that was a good episode 22.
Yeah,
thank you, Mike, for participating again. We'll be 100%. Back hopefully before the end of the year, guys. I promise. But that was a good one. So thank you again, Mike.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.